So, Lauma. She's a new 5-star Dendro Catalyst user who's about to introduce a brand new reaction, Lunar Bloom, and today we're going to break down absolutely everything you need to know to get her ready, from the nitty-gritty of her talents to her most powerful team compositions. Let's start with what she actually does. Lauma is an off-field Dendro applicator, a reaction amplifier, and a debuffer all in one. A core part of her kit is that at elemental skill level 10, she provides a 25% dendro and hydro resistance reduction to enemies, which is a massive boost for her teams. She also has a passive that converts her elemental mastery into increased bloom damage and enhanced elemental skill damage. Her first constellation even gives her some survival utility, converting her EM into HP for the active character. Now, it's really important to understand that her unique Lunar Bloom damage can only be enhanced by a few specific sources: her signature weapon, her C2 and C6, the C6 of another upcoming character named Aino, a new 4-star weapon, and the new artifact set. It's a very specific damage type. Also, remember that Dendro core damage from regular blooms is not considered Lunar Bloom damage. Her Lunar Bloom is direct damage that scales with her character level, talent level, crit stats, and elemental mastery, but it does not scale with Dendro damage bonus. Regular Bloom damage, on the other hand, just scales with character level and EM like we're used to. Out of primogems? Don't worry, I've got a way to save money and get double the Genesis crystals. This is lootbar.gg. It works just like the in-game top-up system, but with up to 25% off, and new users even get a 10% extra discount using the link in the pinned comment. See this? The regular $100 pack only costs $85 on Lootbar, and each update they release an exclusive $77 bundle available for your first purchase every version. All you need is your UID, no password, no login. Just pick your bundle, select your server, enter your UID, and your crystals get delivered in seconds. Lootbar has awesome reviews. It's fast, secure, and trusted by tons of players. If you're planning to recharge for Genshin Impact, Star Rail, or Wuthering Waves, don't waste your money. Click the link in the description or pinned comment and top up now with Lootbar. Safe, fast, and way more affordable. When it comes to leveling her talents, the priority is very clear. You want to focus on her elemental skill first, then her elemental burst, and finally her normal attack. Her elemental skill, Runo, Dawnless Rest of Karsico, is her bread and butter. Tapping it deploys a field that deals AoE dendro damage every 2 seconds, and it lasts for 15 seconds on a 12-second cooldown, meaning you have full uptime. Holding the skill consumes up to 3 stacks of Grass Dew to deal a massive instance of Lunar Bloom damage, equivalent to about 1,404% of her elemental mastery. Her elemental burst, Runo, All Hearts Become the Beating Moon, grants 18 stacks of a buff called Him, and provides even more stacks based on how many you consumed with her skill. This Him buff further boosts her abilities based on her EM and Lunar Bloom damage. For resource optimization, your goal should be to get her elemental skill to level 10, then her burst to level 10, and you can leave her normal attack at level 6. So, with her detailed kit laid out, I'm really curious to hear what you all think. Is Lauma looking like a must-pull for you? And what kind of teams are you already theory crafting for her? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to read through your ideas. Now, for her build, and this is crucial, her signature weapon, Nightweaver's Looking Glass, is the absolute core of her kit. It's the only weapon that simultaneously maximizes all 3 multipliers for Lunar Bloom, those being EM, crit, and its own exclusive damage multiplier. It gives 265 elemental mastery, and its passive can increase Lunar Bloom damage by up to 80%, while also boosting the team's regular Bloom, Hyper Bloom, and Burgeon damage. It even handles her energy regeneration. Without this weapon, her Lunar Bloom damage drops by 25 to 40%. For 5-star alternatives, you can look at options like Sunny Morning Sleep-In, Starcaller's Watch, or 1,000 Floating Dreams, but they are primarily just large EM stat sticks. The best option for free-to-play and low-spending players is the event-free weapon, Black Marrow Lantern. At Refinement 5, this weapon can achieve about 90% of her signature weapon's performance. It gives 165 EM, and its passive provides a huge independent multiplier to Lunar Bloom damage, making it incredibly cost-effective. Other 4-star options include Sacrificial Fragments to reset her skill cooldown, Wandering Even Star for a team-wide EM to attack conversion, and Favonius Codex if your team is struggling with energy. For her artifacts, the new Silken Moon's Serenade set is perfectly tailored for her, achieving 100% synergy. The 2-piece bonus gives 20% energy recharge. The 4-piece is where it shines, giving all party members up to 120 elemental mastery and increasing all party members' lunar reaction damage when she deals elemental damage, even from off-field. It directly boosts her own damage and her entire team's effectiveness. If you're still farming for that set, you can use alternatives like Night of the Skies Unveiling, which boosts EM and provides a crit rate buff, or the classic Gilded Dreams for its versatile EM and attack buffs after triggering reactions. For stats, you want to build her with an Elemental Mastery Sands, an Elemental Mastery Goblet, and a circlet of either crit rate or crit DMG. Your substat priority should be crit rate or crit DMG first, then Elemental Mastery, and finally Energy Recharge. If you're considering her Constellations, C1 offers great comfort by healing the active character for 500% of her EM when she casts her skill or burst. C2 is an enormous damage boost, increasing Bloom reaction damage by an additional 500% of her EM and Lunar Bloom damage by an additional 400% of her EM. In terms of pulling recommendations, if you're on a tight budget, C0 is great. If you have a bit more to spend, C1 offers that healing utility. For those going further, C1 with her signature weapon is a major power spike. And for the whales, C6 with her signature weapon will be the ultimate goal. Finally, let's talk about teams. The universal formula is pretty simple. Just put Lauma in a team with another Dendro, a Hydro, and then a flex support who can be Hydro, Dendro, Electro, or even Pyro. The top-tier team composition right out of the gate will be a dual-core Bloom team with Lauma, Nilou, Nahida, and the new character, Aino. Nilou enables her bountiful cores, while Lauma simultaneously creates her lunar blooms, creating a field of constant explosions. Nahida provides the EM buffs, and Aino's C6 would provide another independent multiplier for Lauma. Looking to the future, there's a potential meta-team forming with 2 more characters, Columbina and Nefer. Columbina is described as a 5-star Hydro Catalyst and the Lunar Reaction Engine, providing constant off-field Hydro. Nefer is a 5-star Dendro Catalyst who is considered Lauma's dedicated synergistic teammate, further specializing in lunar blooms. That is the ultimate detailed guide for Lauma. She seems poised to become a must-pull character, creating an entirely new team archetype around her unique lunar bloom reaction. If you found this detailed breakdown helpful, consider subscribing to the channel for more deep dive guides just like this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.